Please give a warm round of applause for Nyi. And take it away.
Hi. Thank you so much. On the event schedule site, Aung's name is mentioned. So just in case, I just want to clarify that my name is Nyi. I'm CEO of ThitsaWorks. Our CTO was supposed to speak, but he couldn't be here because of a logistics issue. I want to tell you about a project that we're working with the support from the Interledger Foundation. We are very grateful for that. We are calling that a project ThitsaNet. It's an inclusive payment network for the unbanked and underbanked for the people in Myanmar. But before I start with the presentation, I want to show you a picture. This is my grandmother. I am dedicating this presentation and this project to her. She does not have any formal education, but she is very intelligent. She taught herself how to read. She knows how to use smartphone. She knows how to use Facebook. She never had a bank account. She never needed one. She was always dealing with cash until COVID hits. When COVID happens, everything that she was used to, right, stopped. People that comes to our house to help her with things cannot come anymore. She also cannot send money to the charities that she usually sends, right, in cash. She asked me to teach her how to use a mobile wallet. She asked me to download it on her phone and teach her how to use it. Unfortunately, I was in New York and she was in Myanmar. I couldn't do that for her. I told her that COVID is going to be over one day and I'm going to teach her how to do that. Unfortunately, she passed away in 2020, December. There are millions of people like her in Myanmar that we want to help them be able to use mobile wallets very, very easily. I want to be able to send her money from New York to Myanmar really easily so that she gets money on her phone and start using it. And this kind of projects that we are doing has a meaning behind this, right? When we talk about unbanked and underbanked, for most of us who lives in the developed world, it's an abstract concept. But for some of us, it's very personal. Right? So there are people like her, right, who can really benefit from project like this, right? So that's the main goal that we are trying to achieve. So to solve that kind of problem, right, this is not something new, right? The problem has always been there. We want to really connect all the financial institutions in the country and outside of the country, right, in a way that they can send money just like sending messages, right? But to do that, we need to have systems that can integrate, and also that has the ability to scale up, right? For financial institutions, to do that, it's very costly, right? To integrate with each different systems is very costly. Some of the systems, some of the financial institutions are also very small, and they are always left behind because they cannot afford core banking systems or any systems that has API capabilities. They are not cloud-based. Some of them may be using simple Excel sheet or a core banking system that is hosted on their servers, right, or computers on their offices. That has always been a challenge for them to connect with the instant payment systems. But we want to make inclusive payments, instant payment system, not just instant, but inclusive, which means all the financial institutions in the country, right, banks, mobile wallets, and microfinance institutions, credit unions, community banks, rural banks, all of them should be able to connect to one instant payment switch. Right? For users, the problems are that because of that lack of interoperability, if you're using one mobile wallet, you can only send to users of that wallet. You cannot repay your loan from the MFI because your MFI is not connected to this instant payment switch. And in our country, because of the political situations, a lot of people have migrated to neighboring countries, and they are sending money back home through the remittances. Those cross-border remittances are very costly, very expensive. People who are not earning too much to begin with are spending 10% of what they are sending as the cost of the remittance. Right? We want to really cut this down. And because of that, they are using informal and safe channels where the fraud can happen, and they have no protection, nowhere to turn to. These are the real problems that are happening. So The solutions that we came up with, right, two parts to it, right? We are doing this in phases. The first phase, we look at all the problems. There's an instant payment switch, right, that is being implemented. We are using Mojaloop, right, which is the technology, open source instant payment switch that is using ILP as its core, right, to send messages as packets. So we are using Mojaloop to deploy instant payment system to connect the MFIs. We have 181 MFIs in Myanmar. Out of 181, only 28 MFIs have core banking systems that can connect with the instant payment switch. There are over 100 MFIs who are left behind because they do not have core banking systems or core banking systems with API capabilities. So this payment portal is a portal that we built for the offline financial institutions who are licensed, regulated financial institutions, but they may be serving only a few hundred clients or a few thousand clients in a village, right, in a township. We also want to make it possible so that they can connect with the instant payment switch. So the way that we built is that I'll show you the workflow a little bit later, where we will allow them to use our portal as their proxy, right, to connect with the instant payment switch so that they can send and receive the payment instructions, right, through the payment switch connected with other wallets. The next part of this solution is we are calling it ThitsaX connectors. These are ILP connectors that we want to really make it affordable and efficient for the financial institutions to connect with the national payment switch and also connect with each other. We also want to deploy ThitsaX everywhere the financial institutions are located, where they can connect with each other, even cross-border. It doesn't have to be inside Myanmar only. Objectives, very clear, financial inclusion. We want to bring financial inclusion, right, in a big way. Cross-border payments, right? This morning we talked about cross-border payments. Cross-border payments in countries like Myanmar, right, is a catalyst for financial inclusion. For many people, the only time they start to use formal financial services, mobile wallets or bank accounts, is when their family members start sending money from outside of the country. So we really want to use the payment, right, for the financial, right, inclusion. So ThitsaNet, as we call it, is a abstract visual network, right, that comprises of two parts. One, this is a payment portal that is targeted for the offline financial institutions to connect, right, to the payment switch. And these are ThitsaX connectors that will be deployed to each financial institutions to either connect with the national payment switch or connect with each other or connect with financial institutions outside of the country. So I will walk you through this payment portal, just a simple workflow. We have different types of MFIs in Myanmar. As I said, we have 181 MFIs. We can break that down into three categories, right? One, MFIs with core banking systems. They are using cloud-based core banking systems with API capabilities that can connect with instant payment systems without any problem, right? So that's what they would do. They do not have to use a payment portal. For the rest of the MFIs, there are over 150 of them. They may be using core banking systems, but these are offline systems. Or they may not be even using the core banking systems. So we want to put the payment portal in between them and the real-time payment switch so that they can also benefit from the instant payment and connect with the different wallets there. This is a workflow for a repayment. So on the first line, right, you see MFIs with API-capable core banking systems. What they would do is that the MFI borrowers will use any wallets for the repayment. They will use any mobile agent or wallet to repay their loan. And that wallet is connected with the real-time payment switch, and it comes to the MFI core banking systems as a loan repaid. That clearing is instant. right? So as soon as the MFI client repay their loan, of course there's a check-in, right, a balance right between that, right? There's a discovery phase, there's a code phase, right, to make sure that this is the real client. This is the real client that exists on the MFI system, the amount that is due, right? All of that information is passed back to the wallet, and the wallet sees that information. They confirm that this is the amount that I want to repay, and the amount is recorded in the core banking systems in real time. The settlement happens, right? These are the regulated entities in Myanmar, and they are using fiat, right, or our local currency to settle among them. Settlement happens every 24 hours, right, where the mobile wallet and the MFIs have a liquidity account in the settlement bank where the money settlement happens. For the MFIs without the core banking systems with the API capabilities, we have this payment portal in between. Right? So the MFI clients, right, repay the loans using their wallet as usual. It comes through the instant payment switch, and then it is received by our portal on behalf of the MFI. On our portal, we create accounts for each MFI with the connectors for each of them. And these are the connectors. Right? Basically, we use what we call a payment manager, which is the adapter that we use in Mojaloop, right, to connect the real-time payment switch with the portal on behalf of the MFIs. The MFIs log into our system. They have the different user role, right, to check the balances that they receive for that day, and then they can download that into a spreadsheet, and they can then reconcile with their systems. They can upload it into their system if they need to, and this is their record. But we act on their behalf so that they have access to the real-time payment system. The same flow, right, for the loan disbursement. For the MFIs with API capabilities, there's no different from other use cases. For the MFIs without the API capable CBS, then they log into our portal with the user role. There's a permission-based user role where there's a maker and checker where the maker can upload the payment instructions in a CSV file. A very simple CSV file. So even very basic, small financial institutions can manage that. And we also ask a checker from that institution to approve that. Once it is approved, what we do is that we check their balance. They need to have enough balance in their liquidity account to make sure that they can actually make those transactions. And once the liquidity balance is confirmed, then we make the instruction to the real-time payment switch to disperse, right, these loans into different wallets that are holding by their clients. Their clients have mobile wallets. It's just that they are lending institutions, MFIs, do not have the connection with the wallets. So MVP of that portal has been done. We tested with 2 MFIs in Myanmar. The feedback is very positive, right? So these are the MFIs, right, who currently does not have a systems, right, that can connect with the instant payment switch. This is the only way for them to receive the loan repayments and also make the disbursement through this portal. And they are very thankful for that. We have not launched this yet, but we want to do that soon. We also won very recently a FinTech Sprint Award in Trinidad and Tobago. The objective of that project is to upgrade the credit unions in Trinidad, right, by using the payment technologies. And when we study, they did not prescribe what to do, right, for us. But when we study their landscape, we found that there are a lot of similarities between Myanmar and them. They have credit unions without core banking systems that can connect with the instant payment switch. So we want to use payment portal there. The use case for payment portal is actually very wide. There are many countries, right, with similar situations where there are national payment systems, but it is not inclusive yet because there are a lot of financial institutions that are offline. And this is a solution that we want to address. We want to use to address that. The next part, right, of the solution that we are building, we are just sharing the blueprint. This is not ready yet, right? We have started looking at how it could help us connect the different financial institutions. Right now, we are talking about not offline financial institutions, but institutions that are not connected, but they can connect with each other. Right? So we want to make it really efficient for them to do that. So I've been talking with Alex, and we are supposed to be having the brainstorming session with the engineers from Interledger Foundation this week. But unfortunately, our CTO cannot make it. But definitely, we will follow up on this design. So basically, right, we are going to be using Rafiki together with what we are calling ThitsaX, which handles the payment instruction from the finance institutions. The idea is that we really want to make it efficient for them to connect with each other. Once they are using ThitsaX and Rafiki, what we will do is, right, we will connect with instant payment switch. If this country is using Mojaloop as an instant payment switch, then there will be adapter that will connect with Mojaloop. Or if they are using another technology, we will also find adapters. We'll also build adapters, right, so that they can connect with them. Because this is ILP, as soon as right, the financial institutions who has installed or deployed ThitsaX, regardless of the country that they are in, they'll be able to start connecting with each other and also start transacting with each other. In this model, right, we are considering the foreign exchange provider that will translate if they are using currencies, right, in their local currencies to pay in the recipient currency. We'll have to use a foreign exchange provider, right, in the middle to do the currency conversion. We will also come up with the settlement model, right, that works for them. So we are thinking of different mechanisms for this. In places where the instant payment switch is available, right, they already have the settlement model already in place. Settlement bank has been identified. So in that case, all the financial institutions who are involved will have to have liquidity accounts in that settlement bank so that the settlement can take place. In case where there is a bilateral agreement, what we will do is to do the technical integration, but settlement will have to be something that these two bilateral organizations will have to agree, and then right, come up with the settlement model that works for them. This is the blueprint that we think will bring all different kinds of financial institutions in Myanmar, right, to be able to connect with each other and also to be able to connect with the instant payment switch. Right? So at the end of this phase 1 and phase 2, what we would like to see is that somebody sitting from outside of the country will be able to send to any user, regardless of financial institutions that they are using, either the banks or the mobile wallets or even the small MFIs, so that they can receive the money from outside of the country. I'm not going to go into this, right? This is the second part. This is the detail of the what is inside ThitsaX, and that is something that I've started right, discussing with Alex. But it's something that he will need to guide us on, right? How we could use the Rafiki, right? The latest the advancement in Rafiki, right? Together with the what we want to do for the rest of the blueprint. So we have started something that is very exciting for us, which is to connect all different types of financial institutions, right, to come together. That is serving millions of people who may or may not, right, have the access to financial services otherwise, right. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, please do let us know.